I guess I would have imagined that I'd be okay by now, but truth be told, I'm not. I mean, I'm sure most people think I'm crazy by this point, and others are like, no, I authentically relate to her. But if I'm being real, like, I'm just honestly becoming the version of myself that needed me a long time ago. You know, going through, like, heartbreak, depression, grief, all at the same time, it's kind of weird because you don't realize how much of what you've been holding in will resurface until you actually visit them. And it's kind of weird because it's like all of everything that I've been putting off is coming back to me. And the version of myself that I'm creating is like, no, you have to sit with it. You have to process it, because if you don't, it's just going to follow you. And I just realized that. And it's very scary because it's like time collapses. Like when you're going through depression, or like when you've been stuck in a way for so long, what people don't really explain to you is that the time that you spent becoming the worst version of yourself, it resurfaces when you're trying to not become that person anymore. And you have to literally fight with yourself to not backtrack and go back to what hurt you, or go back to what killed you internally for so long. It's learning to forgive and still moving forward, trying to find yourself again after you've been so far away from yourself. And I feel like I've been so far away from myself. And the more I heal and the more I like really realize how long I've been putting my wants and my needs off, it makes me very, very angry and depressed even more. But instead of going to liquor, which was my main source, it's now trying to figure out what I'm going to use to cope now with. And as a person who does not do drugs, and really honestly, I prioritize my health because I want to live a long, healthy lifestyle, it's very difficult finding what will make me happy again. Because for so long, that's what was making me happy. And I forgot what made me happy. Because before, I couldn't drink. I wasn't drinking. So it's kind of revisiting myself and seeing what makes me happy now in my early adulthood, in my early sobriety journey. You know, I don't want to be triggered by what hurt me ever again. And people should really respect the boundaries. And if they don't, that's why isolation feels so heavy for most people becoming sober and healing, because people can't sit with themselves. I can, but it's very creepy sometimes. Another thing that's kind of bothering me is like, I'm trying to bury myself into my career and my hobbies, like, exercising and, trying to get back into painting and just going outside to get fresh air and stuff. But what is weird is like when I do those things, I still feel nothing. Like I still feel empty inside. And the thing is, I'm actually pouring back into myself a lot more, but it just comes with a lot of memories that are just so quick to just disturb your peace. And like what I mean by that is like my brain is on a high alert system right now. And I was kind of researching and trying to figure out what that means specifically. And I've learned that my brain, because it's going through so much at once, I'm overly overstimulated by just being outside sometimes. And it's so weird because like if I'm crossing the street, for instance, if I hear like cars beeping or a sudden siren, my body jumps and it reacts to it so quickly. And before, I was never on like high alert like that, So when you're on high alert, like as high on an alert as I am right now, people who take a sobriety, like I think they understand what I'm talking about, but like you understand how easily triggered you are. It's like, what? Huh? Or what did you say? Like if I'm in line or something and like an old lady is behind me trying to like, put her groceries on like the same, machine thing as me when I'm checking out, or like if I didn't hear her coming from behind me and I hear her voice, my body is like it'll it's so weird. It's like, oh, like what did you say? Or like, were you talking to me? Or like if someone is actually talking to me, I'm like, huh, you're talking to me? Like, yeah, I like your shoes, nice shoes. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like I'm like, thank you so much. I really like these shoes. I actually really like this color that I wore today. And the fact that you notice is pretty cool. I mean, I won't say that, all of that. I'll just say like, thank you. And I'm kind of relieved that it's not something bad, because my brain is constantly scanning for the worst of the worst. When you are a highly intelligent, emotional woman, it is amazing because you love so hard, but when you detach, it feels like I am overly scanning everything. Like you cannot hide anything from me. I overly scan everything that's happening, and I can look at you and automatically my brain it's like, no thank you. Because I just pick up on things so easily. And the reason why when I'm in a relationship or like when I'm actively like, putting someone first, I overly extend myself. Like I am the gift giver. I am the woman that is not only thinking about you, but now I'm thinking about your whole family. I become so indulged into whatever you have going on in your life because I genuinely care. But the moment that I don't care, I am like, I get the ick, and it's not a good ick. It's like I feel the ick myself. Like I get disgusted in myself to where my body is now physically showing symptoms. And it's so weird because like, most people say like, highly intelligent women, like they're very problematic. Like I've been told that before, or like you're overly like just trying to be like, bitchy. But it's like, no, I'm really a big believer on protecting your state of well-being and your peace, because people don't, like, this generation does not realize how weird and corrupted it is right now. Like this generation is very corrupted. It's very like, it's just not aligned at all. And everyone is constantly on these devices and on their games, their Xboxes, their PlayStations, like everyone is so computerized nowadays that when you're actually like talking, or like when you're actually trying to reconnect with nature and really do right by yourself, it's kind of like people think that's weird. Like you wanting to do better is weird to most people. Like, what do you mean you don't want to drink anymore? Like it's so weird because it's like when I was the worst version of myself, I always was outside. Like I've always had motion. I've always had new friends, meeting new people, doing new shit. But it's like now that when you become the best version of yourself, or you're taking steps towards bettering yourself, it's like people are still trying to pull you back into what benefited them, when in actuality I was not my best version of myself. I was miserable. I was drowning. I was not happy. I was slowly trying to kill myself, literally, because that's what was happening. And I was taking in a lot of pain and a lot of hurt, and I didn't want to address it, and I didn't want to feel it. So I tried to numb it. And I don't want to mask my pain anymore, which is why I just keep going. And I can't be around someone who isn't trying to be the same. It's just not going to work. Becoming indulged in like, someone else's lifestyle or, state of well-being is a good thing. Like it's obviously good to care about, other people, not being so selfish. But I think the problem is with me is I was way too nice, and I'm way too sweet sometimes. And I actually picked up on it. Like, I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore, because what would happen if I stopped? Like, what would happen if I no longer was so quick to just, be there for other people? What would happen at that point? And I lost everything, as you can see. I lost everyone. I didn't get checked up on. I didn't asked if, like, no one really cared if I was okay or not. I mean, people pretended, but at the end of the day, no one really gave a fuck, to be honest, you know, because people still did weird shit and then try to get back in my face and act like they weren't doing weird shit. Like, you did weird shit. I can never, I just can't go back to, like, to deal with the weirdness. Like, I feel like somebody has picked their side, and when I feel like somebody has clearly showed me they don't give a fuck, whether it's a relationship, friendship, like, you know, even, like, you know, coworkers or bosses or fuck anybody. The fuck? Like, anybody. I am a person that distance myself, and I like distance myself so much that starting over, trying to retrust again is the hardest part for me. And, like, you know, my mom, she asks me all the time, like, are you ever gonna get married? Like, you know, do you want to get married? And I be telling her, like, my mom says that I'm gonna get married one day, or like she sees me getting married one day, but the way that I've seen what this generation has to offer, and I'm a woman that's like, I don't want anything from you, honestly. Like, that's the problem. Like, I think a lot of women in this generation, they're looking for someone to just give. Like, oh, pay my rent, pay my car note, pay this, pay that. If you're not paying, I'm not laying or staying. Like, and I understand that, you know, terminology, you know, with, like, you know, certain women. Like, I get why you might feel that way. Obviously, you have some hurt, you have some trauma, you got your own shit going on. But with me, I give myself everything. And so when I genuinely want a connection, I genuinely want a fucking connection. And I don't like wasting my time with people who played in my fucking face. I cannot do it ever. I just can't, because I know who I am as a person. I've done a lot of the internal work. I know what makes me happy. I know what makes me smile. And I know what triggers me. And it's like relearning yourself is going to be the hardest part ever in your, like, you know, your journey. Because it's like, I know what makes me happy. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. But I also still have to experience myself on a deeper level, because there's something that's missing, you know? And when a woman feels like there's something that's missing, sometimes women go into trying to find other relationships, or we become the fixers, the problem solvers, when in actuality, you can fix your own problem. You just have to look within. And, like, the more I look within, it actually freaks me out, because it's like, okay, well, now that I'm doing the internal work, it's kind of like becoming a whole different person. And I don't even know who this person is. So now I have to let my brain catch up. It's like losing weight. It's like, I heard about the paper towel method. Like, when you're losing weight, you're you know, you take one sheet roll off, that's one roll, 2 roll, 3 rolls, and you notice nothing is happening at first. It's like, I still feel fat. I still feel like not my best self. But one day you look in the mirror and you're like, oh shit, the roll is gone. And so you either go get more rolls because you want that support, or you're good just being how you are. And so your brain, like, is literally trying to catch up. It's processing, because you can lose the weight. You can lose, like, you know, everything that you've been, you know, working so hard for. But your brain, if it didn't catch up to you yet, it's like, oh shit, like, do you realize you can stop now? Like, do you realize you're okay now? Do you realize that you're safe now? Do you realize you're changing chapters? You're moving, you're about to start traveling, you're about to, like, get your degrees. Do you realize this is actually happening before you, in front of you? Are you ready for it? And most people, they aren't ready for it, but I'm ready for it. I think I'm just having moments where it's like, I didn't know it would just happen so quickly. You know, life happens so fast. And some people would rather stay stuck, but I can't. I'm so driven on just trying to become better every single day, because when I'm evil, I can become very fucking evil. I can give you the cold shoulder. I can say things deeply to hurt you, like, deeply. I stoop very low. I say things that probably should never be said. I can become very cold-hearted. But when I love, I'm so head over heels. I'm so in love. I'm just so filled with, like, you know, genuine motives. But when you get the other side of me, that's a side of me that I never want anyone to ever experience. And so I have to do the work to make sure that I never become my worst self ever. Honestly, again, when I do reconnect with nature, I'm actually the most peaceful. Like when I just sit and stare at a tree, I'm thinking about nothing. In my next lifetime, if I could be recreated into any animal, set me as an eagle. I love everything about eagles. Like just set me as one. That's what I would like to be remembered as. Like I love eagles and horses, but you guys already know this already. Those are my favorite, like, animals. Eagles, they fly, they soar, they oversee everyone and everything, and they get up and just go. The freedom that must feel so cool, which is probably like why I love to be in the air. I am definitely an air person. But yeah, that's besides the point. Not only is hiking one of my favorite activities, like, being connected with nature, being high up in the sky, but going to the library and just sitting there, that's another activity that I grew to love. Like, the complete silence of nothing is like so peaceful. I don't know, call me geeky all you want, but just being in an environment like that, when the world is so constantly overstimulating, find me there on days I don't know what the fuck to do with my life. Like anything, like, okay, every goal or like every career that I went into before I get my, like, degrees or certificates or like, anything like that, like any major milestone that I've ever accomplished or that I'm pursuing, because obviously as I get older, my standards change, my, hustle changes, my motivation changes. Like, I've always started at the library. I've always started there. If I didn't know what to do, where to go, how to start, catch me taking a walk, and I'm gonna be in the library. I'm a bookworm. Seriously, like, I start there. And it's so weird. Like, I can be having the worst days of my life. Worst days, this sucks. Like, I don't know what to do. I need to sit there and I need to just think. I need to think on how the fuck we're gonna transform my life. And it works every time. Shout out librarians. Pretty cool job, okay? I think everyone plays a major role in this economy, So always treat people with respect. Treat people how you want to be treated. Real shit. Because what goes around, it comes back. Some people have been asking me, like, when are you going to go out and hang out with friends? Like, when you're going to connect with people. And, like, as much as I talk about social networking and things of that sort, like, I'm a person that is so deep into this self-love healing journey right now that I cannot even fathom the fact of even sitting next to someone who does not share any common interests with me. Because I don't know, I feel like, people's energy just rubs off on you. And to get rid of those spirits and that energy, it takes too much it just takes too much sometimes, so I just be like very like laid back sometimes, and I'm just like, no, I'm going to focus on myself, because if I don't focus on myself, I'm gonna be overly trying to fix the world. Like, women are powerful, whether men want to give us credit or not. Women are very powerful, but I think the wrong woman can also impact your life in either a very positive way or destroy you completely. And it all depends on how you treat her. And so if you see a woman that's practicing self-love and healing her mentals and trying to become the best version of herself, understand that that woman has been through a lot and is not trying to shift blame. And she's also just gonna turn out amazing. And you missed out. You missed out on something really great, and you missed out on what could have been the best opportunity of your life because you thought that the grass was greener on the other side. And I don't have sympathy, I don't have remorse for anyone who couldn't see that the first time. I'm sorry, I don't. And I also want to say that people are a dime in a dozen. I'm trying to say, like, you find you a diamond, you keep a diamond. Because diamonds, they start off as rocks. And then after they get through that dirt, After they get through that mud, the process, they come out shining, happy, better, thriving, more money, more career, more goals, more fulfilling life, you know? So remember, ladies, like, if you're a woman watching me, you're gonna be okay. I promise. Healing is it's difficult, but it's worth it. And as someone who is literally like trying actively every day, the more you say no to what hurts you, the better you will amaze yourself. And I think that is what matters the more. If anything, still grieving my old self, and I am becoming someone who I am shocking every day. I look in the mirror every single day I wake up and I'm like, okay, this is something new. You're changing. How do you feel about this? You know, like, Shania, like, you know, what's your take on this? And it's very, very scary. It's like my alarm system is like, doo, doo, doo. And as someone who, okay, I don't know if this is me or not, but personally, like, when I hear alarms and shit, like really loud fire alarms, like if I'm inside of like a school building or like a college building, and I hear like the alarm system going off, or like if like the any major trigger, it doesn't cause me to move and panic. For my brain specifically, it makes me sit still and be like, oh, I feel calm in a way. Like when I hear like loud like alarm systems going off, like beep, 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 fire. I'm sitting there like beep, 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 fire. Like I'm very, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I'm still working on figuring it out. But yeah, I'm very calm and situations that require me to be very, what do you call it? Very high alert. Unless like I'm like obviously like how I was explaining earlier, like unless my stress status is up, like I am calm in chaotic environments. Which is why like a few of my careers that I'm going into requires me to be successful in it, because of just how my brain works personally. I can become very calm, but when I'm not, like when I'm overloaded, like I it's so bad. So it's like really honestly finding the balance between switching lives damn near. Yeah, I'm excited to move on to like the next chapters and take you guys through this journey with me. All right, if you're new to my YouTube channel, maybe you've clicked on a few of my videos, clicked off, came back, watched a few more, or like just were here for a few seconds. I really like when you guys subscribe and support the journey. I mean, obviously like a subscription, or not a subscription, but hitting the subscribe button means a lot to some people, because getting YouTube subscribers is a lot harder than getting Instagram followers. Like, what the fuck? Like, that shit is, I didn't know it was gonna be this difficult. And as someone who is like new to the whole YouTube platform, I'm actively like really like, I like it a lot. It feels like it's more real, you know? It's not like overly performed. You're not faking your lifestyle. Like, this is like the real me. This is what's really happening. So like, if you're even watching my videos, if you're subscribing, or like if you're commenting or just anything, like it pushes my videos out to the algorithm so that my audience can find me. And I'm actually like appreciating that you guys are even taking the time out of your day to even click on the link, because even that counts, even that matters. And so like, yeah, I really appreciate you guys for following along. Again, bigger and better things are happening, but hey, every champ before they win, they gotta go through the parts that don't seem so successful. Like, they gotta go through the self-doubt. They gotta go through the, should I keep going? Most people, they give up. I don't want to be that person, or at least I'm trying each and every day. And honestly, repetition means more than keeping everything perfect. And I'm learning that more and more too as well. So wherever you are, again, keep going, and you got to find your power and think like the 1%.